Is the creator slash co-creator of Bitcoin dead? That is what one Florida court case claims. And will Bitcoin shit the bed along with all the other cryptocurrencies in the middle of December? That is what I claim. All right, let's get to it. Asterisk. First, let me mention that I am in the middle of my mid-November 2021 THORnews fundraiser push. Every month I do a fundraiser to keep THORnews up and running. I've only got $709 left to raise, and it's right before my 9-year anniversary and Thanksgiving, so any contributions now would be super duper absolutely greatly appreciated. I got a mailbox you can send to, a PayPal, Venmo, a CashApp, Patron. Okay, great. This is a reminder that I told everybody for a while that in the middle of May 2021, when Jupiter went into Pisces and leaving Saturn all alone in Aquarius, that cryptocurrencies would get their butts kicked, and that totally came true. In the time I made this public prediction, Bitcoin was at 58,000, Dogecoin was at 72 cents, and then May 13th through July 28th, Bitcoin got its butt totally kicked. This is this period down here in the middle of May, and then boom, Jupiter in Pisces, and then Jupiter retrograded back into Aquarius when I said that Bitcoin and crypto would start to go up, and then boom, Bitcoin has been skyrocketing and is now at $60,000. And so I made the same prediction that when Jupiter heads back into Pisces on December 28th, about a week or so before then, crypto will probably crash. I would guess there'll be a Tether announcement that says, hey, y'all, Tether's only like backed 4% by actual dollars. The rest is Chinese paper that may come out of Evergrande. So, like, if you took my advice and sold somewhere around here, and then you could have bought back here, and then, or here, and then you could sell somewhere around here. I do think Elon called the top at 69,000-ish, and the fact that him and his brother sold a bunch of Tesla stock mean that the peak may be in for a lot of things. And we're in for a rough winter because the lunar eclipse that is about to happen over Algol is also happening in Taurus. So there are a lot of people throwing up red flags altogether. And if you had to take a guess, like who was one of the co-creators of Bitcoin, I would guess it was Elon, because remember, he was part of the group that was behind PayPal, which turned paper dollars into digital dollars. And he's just been such a big... And remember, Bitcoin didn't really explode until after the election. And then he was like, oh yeah, everybody, I'm balls deep in Bitcoin. But we all have our own theories. Now let's get to the actual article. Futurism. Dubious court case claims Bitcoin co-creator is dead. And all roads lead to Florida. They say, I guess, the co-creator is a Florida man. The crypto sphere is abuzz over a Florida court case in which the plaintiffs are claiming that one of the co-creators of Bitcoin is dead, and that his family entitled to what amounts to $32 billion estate. So they're saying the guy co-created it is dead, and so they have rights to the $32 billion worth of Bitcoin. And that is one of the interesting things about Bitcoin. You know, apparently a lot of people have, you know, really complicated passwords to get into their own Bitcoin, rightly so. But then a lot of people, if they have it, most people who are smart don't tell people they have Bitcoin. And then B, you know, that you won't be able to get to the password. So Bitcoin seems like an asset that most of the time it doesn't move forward, that like there's no inheritance. If somebody dies claiming Bitcoin, that means the Bitcoin just stays in the Bitcoin stack, which is good for the price of Bitcoin. But that means the money stays illiquid in an economy that really is based on money moving through the economy itself, through people and goods and services. All right, the crux of the case lies in the mostly unsubstantiated claim that Australian programmer Craig Wright was at least partially the person behind the pseudonymous Satoshi Nakamoto. And I think he was an American, and they just created this name to throw it off balance. Although there is another theory that China created it, and then China mined it all up, and then China banned it just so that they could, you know, cause America to have a lot of trouble. Because America's inflation rate is skyrocketing. It's like 6.6 right now, and China's inflation rate is only 1.2. And so, you know, the old definition of inflation used to be anytime money is created. And then they changed it, but I still look at it that way. And so there has been a lot of money creation going on, especially with Tether. So they're basically saying this dude was co-creator of Bitcoin, as well as the concept of blockchain back in 2008, 2009. And remember, this is when Pluto entered Capricorn. And it's just been a wild, wild world since then. Wright is being sued by the family of David Kleiman, the Australian's alleged former business partner who died in 2013. Basically, the Kleiman family's goal is to prove that they deserve access to half of the untouched Nakamoto cache of roughly 1 million Bitcoin. And I did a video a while back saying that, seems like, 20% of all Bitcoin is held in the hands of 14 different people? Which doesn't sound decentralized to me, man. Which is currently valued at around $64 billion, a serious pile of money. It's also interesting to me that when people talk about Elon being the richest man in the world, nobody knows how much Bitcoin he has, or any crypto. And so he's probably a trillionaire and a whole lot richer than most people know, because nobody knows how much Bitcoin anyone really has. Wright's defense, confusingly, holds the claim that Wright did create Bitcoin, a widely disputed claim, but denies that Kleiman was his business partner. While this bizarre case could, in theory, establish the identity of the creator of Bitcoin and determine who controls the vast wealth associated with the Nakamoto name, many say the case will prove absolutely nothing. And I am super duper suspicious of anyone anonymous these days, especially who seems to have an agenda, whether it be QAnon, totally anonymous, Zero Hedge, who has pretty much been trying to undercut America, in my opinion, for God knows how long, since 2008, or Satoshi Nakamoto. I don't know. More people are inclined to trust anonymous people, where that's not my case. Anywho, indeed, the Kleiman family case hinges on one very dissonant core argument, that Wright is telling the truth when he says he's the creator of Bitcoin, but that he's lying by claiming that he is the sole creator of the cryptocurrency. To add to the deep strangeness of the Kleiman versus the Wright case in the Australian programmer's alleged behavior in and out of the courtroom. Yeah, anything associated with Silicon Valley or Silicon Valley type things is usually weird. And, people always talk about how the central banks have a printing press. And so now it's like Silicon Valley has its own printing press. And so there's no surprise we're seeing inflation across the board, except for in China. As Law 360 reporter Caroline Bolando tweeted while following Tuesday's proceedings, Wright appeared to be messily posting to Slack about wanting to sue misleading experts for fraud, while he was literally in court causing the judge to intervene. It's not the court's function to monitor your public or private activities, but to the extent that it does have a chilling effect on witnesses and its direct or indirect threat, then I do get involved. Judge Beth Bloom, the district court judge overseeing the case in the Southern District of Florida, reportedly said, "I'm not going to tolerate that moving forward." While it's tempting to put the mudslinging aside, it seems like the drama, at least for Wright, is the point. While we may be no closer to actually learning who the Satoshi Nakamoto is or was, there will likely be many more twists or turns before the truth finally comes out. And so, yeah, we definitely live in very interesting times as we enter into the age of Aquarius. I think they lied to us, gaslit us, and told us the age of Aquarius was all going to be about peace, love, and brotherhood and mankind working together, when actually it was going to be about tech bros becoming the kings of the world. Let's just hope they treat us well and when they put us in the People's Zoo or whatever. All right, remember, you don't have to agree with me. It is technically kind of my job to have a different opinion than everybody else. And I just want to make you think. No point in time am I pushing my own belief system upon you. Sound cool? All right, great. And if you would like to support me, and people who have different opinions than the left or the right, you can send a contribution to, I got a mailbox, I got a PayPal, I got a Venmo, I got a CashApp, I got a Patron. Yep, all this is digital. I see the irony in that, buddy. And only $709 left to raise. But hey, thank you to everybody out in Astro Fight Club. You guys are super duper cool, super duper amazing. I appreciate y'all. Let's try and have a good week, though, man. It's going to get weird this week, but I've talked about that in all the other videos I've done. If you're interested, you could check back. All right, God bless everyone. Stay cool, and try and treat each other well. Merry Christmas, or whatever holiday you celebrate.